Hey, it is Whitney K, business coach, marketing agency owner, and your host of the Uno Mas podcast, where overwhelmed female entrepreneurs and founders come to get real, actionable advice on how to ditch burnout and build a business that actually works for them. Here you'll access tips, proven strategies, and unfiltered conversations with industry leaders. Today's episode hits close to home for me because I have spent years wrestling with overpriced, overcomplicated email platforms before finding a solution that actually works. And if you've ever logged into your email marketing platform and felt completely overwhelmed, or worse, avoided sending emails altogether because the tech feels too complicated, well, then this episode is for you. I'm going to walk you through exactly why I chose to move my business and a lot of my clients to Flodesk, breaking down the real reasons it's become my go-to recommendation for a lot of female founders who want to focus on growing their business instead of fighting with the technology. But before we dive in, if you are finding value in this no-fluff conversation that I give to you every single week, then please hit that subscribe button and feel free to share it off with your friends. And for my regular listeners, then you know I always keep it real with you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let me guess, you are probably using your email marketing platform because someone told you to. But every time you log in, you feel like you need a flippin' engineering degree just to send a simple email. Today, I'm sharing with you why I have moved myself and a lot of my clients over to Flodesk. In fact, I have been using Flodesk for a few years now, and really how it has transformed my business and theirs with no tech drama required. Now, I get that switching over to a new platform almost sends you into a panic attack. It would me, but hear me when I say this. It is not challenging. It can easily be done. And quite honestly, when you find yourself in a better environment that better serves your mental health, your business, and ultimately your prospective clients in a way that's just more truly aligned with you and your brand, there's just so much peace and calm that comes with that. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things today, but just be open-minded if you are already loving and using your current platform. And then for those of you that might just be kind of like in the air with not really knowing what to do, just listen to this episode, feel it out. If you have questions, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram at HeyWhitneyK, and we'll chat it out. Let's have a conversation. No reason to jump ship yet. Sometimes you need somebody else looking at kind of what you have going on to determine if that's the best option for you, right? But I will say it has been a great option, not only for me, but again, many of my clients. So let's talk about some of those like real email marketing struggles that I see daily with clients and leads that I'm having sales conversations with. Let's talk about, MailChimp. Okay. That's a very popular platform, very good platform too. This is not me coming down on other platforms. I just feel like Flodesk is a better answer for many female founders. But let's talk about like MailChimp's pricing trap, because many other platforms have this pricing trap where you have to pay more just because your business is growing. And at the start, it's a very cheap price, right? That's how they get you in. But as your list starts to grow, that's when you start to see the literally growing pains of growing your business, because you're hemorrhaging finances at the end of the day. Like I made that funny sound because I have seen some of what people are spending on platforms, and it just is wow. I almost feel like these platforms are robbing people, and they're just like, you're famous, you are successful, so we want a piece of the pie. Like I genuinely feel like that's what they're doing. My own personal opinion in the way. But then you can also get caught in like this constant template frustration too, spending hours making emails look just okay. I mean, who wants just okay emails? I mean, sure, you could go over to Canva, as many creators do. And I personally feel, unless you have a VA doing this for you, it is a time sucker. You can go over to Canva and design these pretty little PNG graphics that you design a whole custom email out. It's perfectly branded, it's cutesy pootsy, and you put that in as like your email. But here's the problem. Do you realize that emails with heavy amounts of imagery, aka JPEGs, PNGs, GIFs, can increase your bounce rate and undeliverable rate as a sender? And when that happens, that's not good for you as an email marketer. It's not good for you at all. So as many people do this, and awesome, it's great, it might be working for them, it can also not work for them. So I don't recommend it. And like when you're working with platforms that just have really sucky templates, and it's just like you're struggling at the end of the day to truly love what you're sending out, because let's be real, there's some people that will just send out a basic text email and they're okay with that. They're like, I don't give a crap what it looks like. I just need to get the information out there. And yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. But me personally, I'm a huge visual person. I need things to look pretty. And I don't necessarily like the word cute, but cute. I need it to look pretty and cute, and I need it to look appealing at the end of the day. Professional, yes, but good looking. Like, hell, who wants to look at just like words? I don't. I like words, but I just don't. I want to look at something pretty. So this matters, okay? Then let's talk about the integration. That's like my that's like my sound effect for this podcast. Ooh, it's like my, oh no, we're going to go there. But let's talk about the integration nightmares with other platforms. Some email marketing platforms just do not allow for seamless integrations. It's like you get all set up, you opt in, you pay your first month subscription, maybe your annual subscription, only to find out that it doesn't communicate with what you needed to communicate with. Like your platforms, your other platforms, your CRM, whatever it might be. Integrations matter here, people, and assessing what you all need to have like pieced together in order for it to have a seamless flow and a pretty customer journey. This matters, and it can be super clunky for some platforms. And then the real problem that I see a lot is like, where the hell is that button? Syndrome. It's like, where is that button? I see this all the time in dashboards and platforms where people get in and they're like, oh, this is such a great price. It's got, A, B, C, D, and E features that I need. And then you get into the platform and the actual interface and functionality of things is such a clunky mess. It's like, take me back to like coloring inside the lines days, because this is so overcomplicated. It's like my kids bringing home math homework. Whatever happened to just standard straight 7 + 8 or 21 × 10? Like, what is with this? Like, arrange this number over here and then put these little dots here to equal that number, and then circle and then cross and then, realign this one. And then you'll finally have your answer. Like, what? That's a whole nother conversation for another day. We're not going there. But this is what I see in these platforms, and it's just so overwhelming. So this is a lot of why I personally switched to Flodesk, all right? And I've never looked back. Now, I'm not going to say I'm never going to go to another platform, because if you've been listening to me for some time, then you know I'm a platform junkie, and I have the tendency to platform hop. But we've had a loyal relationship here, y'all. We're talking like a solid, I almost want to say 4 years, but maybe it's 3 years. Like that for me, that is commitment. That is serious commitment. And we are happy. We are happy and continuously impressed, because I feel like Flodesk listens to their users, because they're constantly rolling out new features and templates. And I'm just like, oh, okay, what you got? What you got coming my way? I'm kind of loving it. So let's talk about why I personally switched. Well, transparently, the pricing, all right? It doesn't punish you for growing your business, as it shouldn't. I get that's how platforms make money, but like, why do we have to suffer? Why do we have to spend more just because our business is growing? Now, Flodesk, I'm hoping you stick with this. I really hope you stick with this, because if this podcast comes out and this is one of the features, I'm like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then like 3 months ago, this podcast is no longer considered evergreen content because you've decided to, change up your whole payment process and like packaging, we're going to have a serious conversation. But for right now, you don't get penalized for growing your business. It's a flat $38 a month. But if you go to Eden, eden.agency/tools, again, eden.agency/tools, go to that website. All right. That's my company's website. You can get your hands on Flodesk for, I believe the first year is only $19 a month. So go check that out. Get yourself plugged in. But before you go like jumping ship, hold on, all right? Because another reason that I switched to Flodesk is, it's the sequences, it's the communication, it's the setup, it's the simplicity of their platform. So full example here is I was able to set up a client's welcome sequence, which consisted of about 7 emails in 30 minutes. Versus fighting a platform, their clunky integrations, their horrible interface, and their where's my button complex that I was having within 3 hours. And we've seen this with my agency time and time again, where it just takes us time, especially with platforms that we're just not familiar with, because they all at the end of the day function the same way, so we can get in and work with whatever. But we have our platforms that we love and choose, and Flodesk being number one for that reason. It's just super simple. And then even my VA gets it, y'all. I have a VA from the Philippines. I love her to death. I'm not saying that if you live in the Philippines, you're just not going to understand it. But like, when you have to sit here and spend hours training a VA on a platform because it's so flipping complicated, that's a problem. When my VA was like, I've never heard of Flodesk. Well, here it is. I sent a quick training video and she was like off to the races. Like, oh, this is simple. I get this. No big deal. Same thing with my clients, not even my VA. If I have to introduce my clients to this as it being a new platform, they get it. That is so important. Getting on a platform and not even knowing where to start, that is just like immediate red flag there. All right. So like, what are some of these features that you're going to love and use within Flodesk? Well, form builder. All right. That doesn't look like it's from like 2005. We're talking like a current, modern, engaging builder, especially with those templates that they have in there. That is just amazing. It's so simple. Before I started recording this podcast, I was actually creating a freebie for a previous episode that I literally just recorded. And within less than, I want to say 20 minutes, I would probably say less than 10 minutes, just because I'm so used to doing it now, I was able to get up a form, set up a quick little, 2 email sequence to attach that form when somebody gets the freebie, and boom, done within seconds. Also, because I already have my style of forms in there, so I literally just duplicate, swap out the information, attach the freebie, attach the sequence that goes with it, and we're done. Like 10 minutes, so simple. Then you've got workflow templates that make it super easy. You don't need a flow chart degree to get through this. I'm telling you, it's so simple. So the workflow templates, or the sequences as they can also be called, are the series of emails that can go off after somebody opts in for something, whether that be a digital resource, whether that be opting into your list just in general, opting into an event, or whatever you have it. This is the series of emails that go off. And this is so I just love how Flodesk does this, because they just do it so seamlessly. It's like, select the list that people are going to be added to if they opt in for this series, or select the list that, the people are going to receive this series of emails. That's what it is. And then it's like email 1. You write it out. Cool. You choose a template. Then you can attach a time duration to pause. Like, don't send another email for another day. Cool. Then what happens? Well, then you select send another email, or filter into another list, or it's just so easy. It's just so simple. I love it. Then you've got email templates that I just keep talking about that you either, number one, most importantly, probably won't even have to redesign. They're so pretty and they're so already, their design team is amazing. I have to assume because of just the templates alone. You don't have to redesign a lot of this, but you will have to redesign it if you want it to be aligned with like your brand colors and your aesthetic and things like that. Then they have this whole new checkout feature that replaces clunky payment systems. Now, personally, I do not use this because I use a payment system called ThriveCart, which I love and use and have had for years. It was a one-time payment and I get lifetime access, so it works for me. But I see people that are like using Stan Store or Wix payments and like they're kind of like all over the place, and it doesn't really tie into their email marketing, which is so incredibly important, especially if people are opting in to buy digital products or get freebies or anything for that matter. Having it in the email marketing platform already set up to where you can tie that to workflows and email sequences that go off or, abandoned carts or whatever you have is so incredibly important. And Flodesk does this seamlessly. So what do you do if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, I think I need to consider, jumping ship and trying Flodesk. I need to check it out. Well, what I would recommend is doing this right now, creating your account with Flodesk. And again, if you don't have an account, but you want to have a discount, go over to eden.agency/tools. Click on Flodesk as one of the tools that I highly recommend, and get it at a discount. Get your account set up, all right? I would create, number one, a welcome sequence. A welcome sequence is going to be a series of emails that go off to somebody that opts into your list from your website, from really anywhere. So anybody that opts in will get this welcome sequence telling them, hi, thank you for subscribing. This is me. This is my brand. This is my company. This is what we're about. And this is how I'm going to help you, right? Then you want to set up a lead magnet delivery sequence. These are going to be like templated, right? Like you're going to create them, but you can copy and modify the content within them for any other future lead magnet. So create a lead magnet sequence. Now, this might not be as lengthy as your 7 email welcome sequence. Maybe it's a 2 or 3 email nurturing drip campaign. The first one is like delivery of the lead magnet, the resource that they opted in for. And then maybe the other 2 are like trying to convert them into a sales call or something like that. And then the next one I would recommend doing is a newsletter template. Now, if you're growing an email list, full disclosure, I personally feel you need to have a newsletter, whether that is weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Obviously, if you are just getting started, I recommend a monthly newsletter. Then once you get in the flow of creating that content on a regular basis, then you're going to want to move more into a bi-weekly newsletter. And then after that, you're going to want to move into maybe a weekly newsletter. I've done weekly. I will tell you, it's a lot of work unless you have some help. So now I do a bi-weekly newsletter, can't get my words out, newsletter. And the reason I love newsletters is because it's constant nurturing of your list without a heavy sales aspect to it. You can still sell within your newsletter, but it's not a sales email. Like those are completely different. And if you're not really sure how to structure this or what this might look like for your brand, DM me on Instagram. Hey, Whitney K is my handle. Go over to Instagram, send me a DM. Let's have a conversation and let me see if working with me, with you, would make sense, or I can at least point you in the right direction and give you something that you can walk away with feeling confident so that you can implement it into your business today. All right. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is this is kind of maybe the first thing you want to do is get the migration checklist. I've created a checklist. If you go to go.eden.agency. So go.eden.agency/003. You can get your hands on my migration checklist. So this is a Flodesk migration checklist, meaning if you are going to migrate from a platform like MailChimp over into Flodesk or Constant Contact over into Flodesk, wherever you're coming from, Aweber, doesn't matter, right? All these different email platforms. If you're coming over to Flodesk, it is a migration checklist to make sure you do that so you don't lose subscribers in the process and so you don't end up like completely blowing up your email marketing system while you are migrating. It's going to walk you through very easily. So again, go to go.eden.agency/003. So in recap, okay, there is no reason to overcomplicate your email marketing platform. If you are spending more than 2 hours a week, something is wrong. Hear me when I say that. If you are spending more than 2 hours a week, something is wrong. Your email platform should work for you, not against you. And beautiful design should not require a graphic design degree, all right? I'm a graphic designer. It comes easy for me, but it does not for many people. And I guarantee you, that is probably you. You're probably like, when you think of a blank canvas on Canva, you're like, where do I even start? You don't need that in your email marketing campaigns either, or your email marketing platform. So here's the deal. I've got the checklist waiting for you. Go ahead and grab that, all right? It's the exact one that I use with my clients who pay me thousands of dollars to help them set up things like this, all right? You can get it absolutely free. And if you want to talk absolutely free, just having me look at your business and assessing where you are and what you need and my personal advice to you, head on over to Instagram, Hey Whitney K, send me a DM, let's schedule a call, let's chat and get your business streamlined so you don't have to be grabbing your head in a freaking headache and panic of frustration this year in 2025. Thanks for taking the time to listen in to today's episode on Uno Mas Podcast. What can you do to support the show moving forward? Well, you can subscribe on your favorite platform, leave a review or a rating because it's your reviews that matter most and it's your reviews that help us get the show discovered by new listeners. And don't forget to share this episode with your friends, family, and followers on all your social media accounts, tagging me at The Whitney K or at Uno Mas Podcast for a spotlight feature on our social platforms. Now, if you're a female entrepreneur who's ready to ditch the overwhelm, stream your business operations, and create a brand that deeply resonates with your audience, it's time to take the next step. Visit Eden with an IDEN.agency to learn more about my strategic synergy partnership, a personalized one-on-one partnership experience where we'll work together to implement the tools, systems, and strategies you need to scale with confidence, save time, and achieve sustainable growth. Don't wait. Your business deserves clarity, efficiency, and success. So let's make it happen together.